Have you ever come home to find your personal property destroyed by people who don't own a single blade of your grass? What if the neighborhood busybody who called you a paranoid weirdo for protecting your family decided your safety didn't matter? And how sweet is it when that same power-tripping HOA Karen ends up on your doorstep, begging you to keep her dirty little secrets? I pulled into my driveway after 5 days hiking in the Cascades. No phone, no emails, just trees and rain and sweet silence. The engine was still humming when I spotted it. A pathetic pile of twisted metal and shattered lenses dumped next to my garage like someone had executed a robot and left the body for the neighbors to admire. Those were my cameras. Gone. The walls smashed to pieces, wires dangling like broken veins. And taped right where my front door cam used to stare down the world was a bright yellow notice flapping proudly in the wind, practically gloating. Unauthorized surveillance equipment removed under Community Privacy Compliance Act. Electronic monitoring creates an atmosphere of discomfort. Equipment disposed of properly. Thank you for your cooperation. Signed, Maple Grove Community Association. I stood there reading it 3 times, maybe 4, because my brain refused to process the stupidity. Then I laughed. Because sometimes when you're so pissed your blood is boiling, laughing is the only noise your body knows how to make. Those weren't cheap doorbell gadgets from Amazon. This was a full pro setup, 4K night vision, motion tracking, cloud backup, hardwired everything. The kind you install after 3 break-ins hit your block in 1 year and some clown with a crowbar tests your back door at 3 a.m. Last year alone those cameras helped cops nail 2 burglars and 1 toolbag thief. They were my peace of mind. HOA Demolition Squad. I circled the house like a crime scene tech. Empty mounts, fresh pry scars on the siding, wires yanked out like they enjoyed the violence. This wasn't sloppy kids. Approved. And then I saw the logo at the bottom of that yellow slap in the face, bright blue official smug. Maple Grove Community Association. The same people who built their shiny gated McMansion paradise around my 1987 corner. Lot like ivy choking an old oak. I was here first. HOA clauses. I paid my own taxes, my own bills, my own everything. They had 0 jurisdiction. Inside, bag still in hand, I didn't even kick off my boots. I grabbed my phone and dialed the number on their fancy website. 2 rings and a voice sweeter than artificial sweetener answered. Maple Grove Community Association. This is Beverly speaking. I kept it steady. I need whoever authorized ripping security equipment off my house. Click-clack on a keyboard. Oh yes, that would be our board president, Mrs. Langley. Of course it was a Karen. Put her on. 5 minutes of elevator music that sounded like it was composed to make you hate humanity. Then the voice slid through the line, polished, professional, the kind that had never heard the word no and lived to tell about it. This is Karen Langley. Ryan Hayes, corner of Willow and Pine. Your people tore my cameras off my house while I was gone. I want them replaced. Pause. Not surprised, not sorry. Yes, Mr. Hayes, that removal was authorized by the Community Standards Committee. Your equipment created an atmosphere of discomfort for residents. I almost dropped the phone. Cameras face my own yard. They caught actual criminals last year. Her tone turned teacher mode, the one people use when they think they're educating the peasants. The mere presence is disruptive, Mr. Hayes. Reported feeling watched. We prioritize openness and trust in Maple Grove. I laughed again, the dark kind that tastes like acid. Openness? Maybe stop building gates then. And you destroyed $3,000 of my property because someone felt uncomfortable? Disposed of properly. She corrected like she was talking about expired yogurt. Security should be based on community trust, not invasive electronics. My knuckles went white around the phone. 3 break-ins. 1 guy with a crowbar. She didn't miss a beat. Our community prefers a different approach. Is there anything else, mister? I said quietly. You're paying for new ones. Click. She hung up. No apology. Power move executed. That night I couldn't sleep. Every car that slowed down had me staring at the ceiling. No footage. Just me and the knowledge that Karen Langley and her clipboard army had walked onto my land, vandalized my home, and called it compliance. They thought they'd won. They didn't know I'd been quietly taking their crap for months already. See, before the cameras even got smashed, Karen had started her little whisper campaign. That Ryan Hayes with all his lenses? Kinda creepy, isn't he? Always watching. Probably films the kids playing in the cul-de-sac. Neighbors started avoiding eye contact. Kids stopped waving. Wait. The slandered guy. Heard it, smiled through the stairs. But I watched. 2 days later my nephew Tyler showed up with a backpack, a laptop, and that crooked grin that always meant trouble in the best way. Uncle Ryan, who are we burying today? We ordered pizza, sat at the kitchen table, and I spilled everything, the note, the call, Karen's fake polite discomfort speech, the way she said disposed like my life savings were garbage day. Tyler listened, nodding, fingers drumming his soda can. When I finished he leaned back. Completely illegal. But lawsuit? Boring. Money. Let's talk leverage. He opened his laptop. Passive sensor networks? I hadn't. Good. Aaron. Tyler worked cybersecurity for logistics giants. He designed invisible tracking for warehouses. No lenses, no faces, no audio, just motion, vibration, heat, direction. Tiny matchbox-sized gray boxes, matte. Legal on public sidewalks and your own property. Cameras scream, watch me. Sensors whisper. Sidewalks are public. As long as we don't record voices or faces, we're golden. He dumped 50 of them on the table. We spent the weekend turning my yard into a silent web. Behind bushes, under mailboxes, on tree bark, painted to blend with concrete, rust, leaves. Meticulous. By Sunday night I had 47 live nodes mapping every footstep in a 100-yard radius. My phone became mission control, soft buzz, tiny map, cold data. At first it was chaos. Joggers, dogs, delivery trucks buzzing every 5 minutes. But patterns emerged. Golden Retriever guy. 7:40 a.m. 15, the power walking couple who judged everyone's lawn. Then the anomalies started hitting like gifts from the universe. Thursday night, 2:17 a.m. East boundary alert. I checked the map. It's my grass toward Maple Grove. I peeked through the blinds and there she was, Karen Langley herself, in a silk robe and bare feet, leash in one hand, phone in the other, clearly 3 sheets to the wind. Her little Yorkie dragged her while she mumbled curses about those stupid board meetings, and why can't people just mind their own business? She tripped over my sprinkler head, laughed like a hyena, kept stumbling. Timestamp. Duration 3 minutes 12 seconds, trespassing on my land. I saved the log. No blackmail. Just pure objective data. 2 nights later, 11:48 p.m. Front driveway zone. It was board member Robert Hale screaming at his wife in their driveway, finger in her face, car door slammed so hard the sensors picked up the vibration. Another folder. Perfect Instagram mom, church every Sunday. Tuesday, 3:22 p.m. Rear alley. Patterns overlapping behind her garage for 37 minutes. Not her husband's truck. Sensors just delivered. Pictures these people never wanted painted. For 2 weeks I let it run silent. Meanwhile Maple Grove got twitchy. Patrol cars slowed past my house like they were casing a crime scene. Curtains twitched. Ever since Ryan put up whatever that is, I feel watched. I just mowed my lawn, washed my car, waved like nothing happened. Letting them sweat. Then the cream-colored certified letter arrived. Notice of community concern. Psychological surveillance atmosphere. Request mediation. I laughed so hard I had to sit down. Tyler called that night. Someone tried scanning your network from their office IP. Amateur hour. 3 days later the knock came, soft, hesitant. I opened the door and there stood Karen Langley. No blazer armor, no clipboard shield. Just a woman clutching her purse like it was the last lifeboat on the Titanic. Eyes darting, voice small. Talk. I let her in, where Tyler and I planned everything. She folded and unfolded her hands like she was negotiating with a bomb. Residents are concerned. I poured coffee she didn't touch. Monitored how? It feels like someone is always watching. I leaned back, calm as a saint. Maybe they should install cameras. Oh wait, you destroyed mine. Her jaw clenched. That was a mistake. You trespassed. You vandalized. Name the complainers. She couldn't. Silence stretched like a rubber band about to snap. Finally she whispered. What do you want? Not sorry. Just transaction. New cameras. Install, paid by Maple Grove. Written statement admitting zero jurisdiction over my property. Public apology to every resident. Her face went pale. Public. As public as you made me the creepy camera guy for 6 months. She realized she had nothing left. I'll take it to the board. 3 days later the email hit. Resolution agreement. They folded completely. Within a month a crew showed up. 8 brand new 4K cameras, thermal backup, redundant everything, double the old value, all on their dime. Plus a letter mailed to every household admitting fault, apologizing, and spelling out boundaries in black and white. Tone? Humbled. Girls stopped creeping. Neighbors waved again. Quietly if he could join the system. Tyler set up an opt-in portal, transparent, ethical. Most signed up. Vanished once they had control. The sensors stay hidden. Sometimes late at night I sit on the porch and think how close I came to selling the house, moving, letting clipboard tyrants win because fighting felt exhausting. But I didn't. Always wear a badge. Sometimes it's a pastel blazer and a fake smile. And the only way to beat it is quietly, patiently, smarter than they are, without becoming the monster. Here's the real tea, folks. HOA Karens love playing God with your life behind ridiculous rules, but smart patience and cold facts always flip the script. Don't yell. Just watch, adapt, and let their own hypocrisy do the heavy lifting. The sweetest revenge is knowing you could burn it all down. But choosing not to. Your driveway might be next.